Alright guys, welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead. I'm Papa Pepper. Back home off the road, worked really hard to earn some extra money to allow me the opportunity to stay home some extra time. So that, come here little one, so that I can spend more time with the children that we have and the one that's on the way coming. So I wanted to be here for the birth, wanted to be here for the transition and all that, and also I've got some priorities I'm working on. Probably the last video I had was priority number 2 with the root cellar and storm shelter build. This is priority number 1. Build this platform, build this stuff so that way I can get in my wood burning stove. Yeah, we're gonna try to do this. So at the moment, here's what I got going on. Some of the stuff on this border was busted up quite a bit by the children when it was still soft. Not ideal, but life happens. And the cool thing is I actually want to bring this out farther. So I'm going to cut the carpet back, take this off, lay down a sheet of plywood first as kind of a moisture barrier, and then redo it. And if that's dry by sometime tomorrow afternoon, I should be able to put the stones here, put the stones here, put the stones here, and put the stones here, which will bring me to the next level of this project. That's my goal. Not sure how it's going to happen. I do have some stones in the house. The other ones are wet and cold outside, so I'm probably moving a bunch of them into the house today, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, baby, I'm excited too. So I got this pretty good. What I'm going to do now is drop down that layer of plywood, apply some lath, and then put some mortar, some scratch coat back on there. And I was trying to consider, I have some rocks here that are ready, but my other ones are kind of dirty and they're cold, and some even have snow on them. So, question becomes, how do I deal with that? What do I do to get them ready by potentially even tomorrow? So the piles on the pallets are out here. Look at them. You look at some of the ones I've been selecting out of it. They've got dirt on them, stuff like that. They've got ice on them. They're cold. I was like, how do I do this? How do I get them ready? And then it occurred to me. But then I saw that Mama Pepper here. What are you doing?
I'm making lunch.
She's making lunch. She's got enchiladas in the oven. And I'm like, you know, I could take these things in the bathtub. I could rinse them off. I could scrub them off. And I can put them in the oven. And a long time ago, I was testing these rocks to make sure they could withstand the heat from the wood stove. So I was cooking rocks in the oven anyway. I think that's going to do it. I'll just put them on a low heat. Warm them up slowly. Dry them up. Have them ready for tomorrow. You think it'll work? She's optimistic. I'm optimistic. If it doesn't,
I think so.
I'll do a small batch first. We'll figure it out. But I think that's the ticket.
Give it back to her.
Now it's time for mud again. And I'll be home and we'll talk to our children and I'll make sure nobody smushes it between today and tomorrow. And either late tomorrow night or the following day maybe, I'll get her started on the rock project. here, this is done. We're coming out 18 inches from the platform. And then from the opening of the wood stove, it's going to be about just over 2 feet, which will be good. That'll help with any sparks that might shoot out. Also, since this is about 18 inches, it'll be a good place to maybe stack some wood off to the side when we bring some in. This side, or this entire level, being the ground here, the step up, the platform, and those 2 runners, are going to get rocked first. And then after they're rocked, what I'm going to do is put some spacers back here and put another sheet of this Durock concrete board. So I've got kind of a space so we can run air behind there. It'll heat up this entire thing, and then the air will come in the bottom, out the top, help heat the house. Kind of be a nice heat, whatever they call that, passive heat maybe. So that's gonna be the goal, but I'll put the stones off of here to help me get my spacing right, and then I'll run a layer of stones off of here. I'm also gonna run some of the ones at the bottom tight against the wall, so this one will rest on top of them. It'll just have spaces in between it. So that's the way we're gonna work on that. And oh, it's gonna be better than it initially was going to be. It's better for me to come out this far. It's better for me to have that plywood underneath there. And probably maybe Friday morning or something, I'll start running that rock. And once this thing's done, this part, and then I get the next part, then we can work on going through the roof and putting in the wood stove. So exciting. Definitely want to be heating with wood. Definitely want, you know, it's something we can generate from our property. If society crumbles worse than it has been lately and we can't get propane, we don't have to freeze to death on, you know, cold winter nights or just randomly start a fire in our house. So that'll be good. So I suppose there's only so much weight that can actually support. And actually these ones, it's been probably about an hour since I put these in there. Rinsed them off, just set them on some towels, and they're pretty good. They're not exactly moist. Here's an example of a larger one. I don't think I'll ever even put in that fridge, but it's pretty dry. And again, I'm gonna be putting wet cement on it and then setting it in place. So I think for the most part, they're gonna be fine. I'll still run some in there just to see what happens with them, but I'll probably have to clean up a number more to have enough to do it. And then it'll be just a matter of kind of finding the pattern to put them all together and see how they all fit. Hopefully that'll be my project soon. And these we've been hanging on to for years. You know, just free sources that we had at our, at our disposal. Decided not to dispose of them, collect them, hang on to them, keep them. See if they don't come in handy one day. And even over here, it's gonna be something similar to that. Even similar in coloration. It's just This is fake stuff. Came with the place. We'll build some real ones from some of the, you know, rustic, wild resources in the area. That should work. Well, guys, on a project like this, as you know, this is my priority number one. It's the first and foremost at the top of my list, the thing I really need to get done to appropriately move forward on this homestead. Priority number two is my root cellar and storm shelter, and that's very important, and I want to do it. It's second in kind of necessity around here. But I'll tell you what, on a day like today, it's cold outside, everything's still frozen. I have a desire within myself to get out there and progress on that root cellar. I just think the work is more fun. I want to dig. I want to remove some of that stuff. I want to cut a hole through that concrete. That's what I want to be doing. But I know that this is more important. So all day I had to tell myself no on that project. And that's not easy. To deny yourself, to say, you know, this is what I want to do, but it's not what I need to do. Because the way I set up my work lately, you know, I had today completely home. And while I would have been making progress doing something like that, it's far more better for me to be in here doing this. So this is what I spent in between my other tasks and the other things I've been helping with and doing. This is where I spent my day and my time. And I was hoping I could wrap this up, of course, a lot earlier in the day. That didn't happen. But the cool thing is that now I'll give it a day and then I'll be able to move forward on priority number one. And then I've got all day tomorrow, Lord willing, to work on priority number two, being the root cellar and storm shelter build, work on that stairwell and that door. And I'm excited. And as I was looking at those big concrete pieces, one of the other neighbors I know, and really those concrete pieces will more fit into, you know, her jurisdiction. I guess for some time she was thinking of using them, some of them, and kind of making a walking path, spacing them out, and then filling in the middle of the gravel, but she couldn't move them. So I said, you know what? I'm just looking for the ones with the straight edge mostly. Why don't I... Bugger?
Yeah.
Stay back. Stay away from there. Thank you. Why don't I just move all the ones you want? You can't do it. I'm not using them all, so I'll be working on that as well as my priority number two. The ones I'm skipping over and not using, I'll be, you know, putting forth some effort to bless one of our neighbors. So we will see you next time. I just kind of felt like sharing that. Press on to what you need to do. You know, I would have loved to head down to the lake today too and just catch some fish and start a fire and do like a survival catch, clean, and cook too or something like that. But I got food here in my house. I got work I need to do. So priorities first. Papa out.